If nobody talks about you, then you are nobody. Then you are nobody. Remember,
thank you all for tuning in to Sophisticated Sunday. I'm going to be your reader today, next Zo. We are going to be talking about hexes, curses, breaking up marriages, killing people with deities. Can you disrespect them? All in today's show with my co-host,
Osun Funke. I am an Iyanifa, priestess of Ifa. I'm not to be fucked with.
Exactly. And I'm a priest of Vodun, and I will steal your ancestors. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start the show with this question. In your opinion, what does the construct of respect mean or look like in African spirituality?
Okay. So that's a multi-layered, I have a multi-layered answer. Mm-hmm. But the first answer is mastery. This is a lifetime pursuit. In Ifa, which is my tradition, it's a culture, not just a religion. It encompasses everything from religion, obviously, language, food, attire, so many different things. And so there is this understanding that you would devote your entire life to mastering the culture and all of the intrinsic little things that go into that. When you approach a deity, it's understood that you would do it a certain way. Your altar's on the floor. It's not up high. You never stand above your deity when you approach them. You're always eye level or lower, except when you're talking to the warriors. Just little things like that. So mastery of the culture and understanding of the minutia that makes it a culture, I think, is part of what that respect looks like. And it's difficult for a lot of Americans and Westerners to even begin working with these deity and working within the system, because our ideas of respect and the way we do things are very different.
Yeah, because we typically think of respect as, let me not cuss around my ancestral altar, and let me not say anything disrespectful. But respect really means blind loyalty.
Yeah, it does, and we curse sometimes in the middle of work or prayers. You get what I'm saying? And so that actually is out the window. It's like, no, you wouldn't want to curse in front of your grandmama. But sometimes when you're talking to a warrior and you need him to fuck somebody up, fuck this person up. That's part of your prayer. That's part of your approach.
Mm-hmm. You get what Lord Barone, please remove this person. Slit their throats if they cross me. Okay? And that's what we do. It's respect is different. The respect comes into the respect for me in Haitian Vodou means when I approach Barone, it means I come at you man to man. Mm-hmm. I don't come at you on some little kid shit. I come at you saying, with my chest poked out, this is what I want, this is what I command you to do, this is what I need you to do, and nigga do it. And he gonna be like, alright, my nigga, he daps me up. That's respect for that particular deity. Mm-hmm. Every deity requires respect, which means to honor their rules and follow them blindly. Be loyal to them regardless of how you feel about them. Right. Because at the end of the day, you need them more than they need you. Because they got so many other people that's willing to serve them.
Absolutely. And that's why I had mentioned, like, when you go to the warriors, like Ogun, for example, you don't kneel before Ogun. You stand up to him, eye to eye, so to speak. You know what I mean? If you lower your head, if you bow your head, they say that that's a signal for him to chop your head off. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, what does disrespect look like in African spirituality?
Right. That's what it looks like. It looks like non-mastery. It looks like playing. It looks like not understanding or respecting the tradition. It's a tradition and it's 30,000 years old. It's very rich and involved. It's beautiful and amazing, but you can't just do whatever you want to do. You cannot bring that Western, I am free American attitude to something that is 30,000 years old. Mm-hmm. And also scientific. And that's, again, why the mastery is so important, because to respect your deity means that you're going to come to them with everything that they need to be able to do what it is that you're asking them to do. Mm-hmm. You're going to have the necessary items. You would have done the necessary rituals. You will be set up in a way that sets them up for success.
Exactly. And ancestral disrespect can look like... It can look like you... Ancestral... It can look like... Okay, so... disrespect of African spirituality looks like, I guess I can put it, when you're practicing African spirituality, you not only become a role model for yourself, not just a role model for your ancestors, but you're a role model for the community. So when you go around here threatening to curse people, hex people, using your powers to subjugate them and make them feel inferior, that is ancestral disrespect. Ancestral disrespect is not being obedient to the commands of your ancestors when you're told to do something, whether that's in divination, meditation, or through a dream. That is disrespectful.
Or through a tradition that has been established that tells you how to deal with your ancestors.
Or how to deal with life.
Yeah, exactly.
And when I think of ancestral disrespect, I'm thinking of instances where people have appropriated certain religious practices and they're not initiated, and they're saying, you know what, I work with this deity. I've created this product because I work with this deity. I'm going to work with Oya because this client came to me even though
she needs some shit to change, and so I'm going to go to Oya, the Orisha of change, and make this happen. And the thing where people get fooled is that those energies are available. They're primordial forces of the universe. You can tap in, or as we always discuss, work with echoes of those energies. But to think that you actually have command of the energetic body, the supreme consciousness that is an Orisha, just because you get some results a couple of times is ridiculous and reckless.
Because that's the difference between thinking that because as a person that's melanated, you have
authorization automatically.
To access the echoes, the voice. So you can direct the tone of the voice where you want it to go, but you don't have command over the entity's limbs.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't make it move and walk and do what you want it to do.
Exactly.
But when you need to approach it to do what you want, when you need to animate that entity, you need to approach it with respect. Know which offerings it needs. Know when to give it those offerings.
Absolutely. Know if you're even authorized to, because just because you need work done doesn't mean that you can do it. You may have to employ someone else or implore someone else to do it on your behalf, even if you're a priest or a babalawo. It's just like performing surgery on yourself. And so, if you're a priest or a babalawo and you can't go to these deities all the time and have them do what it is that you need them to do for you, then if you are a YouTube scholar who's read a couple of really great books on Orisha, what makes you think that you can then command this energy and have Ogun start working on your behalf?
But just because you can read a book and you feel like your mind transcends beyond reality and you're traversing all these different spaces because you're ingesting other people's ideas, you feel like that experience is a part of your own. That in itself, that
is dangerous.
Is dangerous because then you start to feel as though you have certification to do things that you were never authorized to do, which is disrespectful.
That's disrespectful. It's disrespectful.
So, respect is earned and it is learned. It is earned and it is learned. And that's what I was going to get to.
Absolutely.
So, what are the consequences of ancestral respect? What are the consequences of what are the consequences or benefits of respect in African spirituality?
I think that the benefits are a life that is lived with the highest levels of joy. I think the life of your dreams, absolute bliss and harmony and very little resistance. I think that's the result of living a life that is obedient and respectful to the spirits that walk with you and serve you. I think that's the highest indication of success in that area.
I think that some of the benefits that you should receive from ancestral respect are access to an infinite supply of energy, whether that's an infinite supply of money, clientele, love, travel, pens and pencils,
love, admiration.
I also think that another benefit to it would be having peace of mind about any issue that you face, because you start to realize one of the benefits of African spirituality is having peace of mind, knowing that obstacles are going to come. The wheel of fortune is going to turn. That's going to happen. But I will always have dominion over any situation that I encounter. So having that peace of mind and that security is one of the benefits of ancestral or African spirituality.
And you know something else, it may not always necessarily be dominion. It could just be being comfortable with obedience and knowing that that obedience keeps you on a path that prevents you from having those obstacles or circumventing those obstacles, you know.
It's like being in it's like when you're in the second grade and a teacher gives another student, they're like, hey, take names when I'm out of class. So, you know, tattle on whoever's talking. And so you ain't talked, but you watching everybody else get paddled because you ain't talked and you were obedient. You like, I'm getting my entertainment today. So that is one. But what are the consequences?
Well, I think, you know, again, just to keep it very basic, I think the consequences are frustration in your efforts, frustration in your ability to manifest things, frustration in your ability to be able to enjoy life to the fullest, frustration in encountering the same types of defeat over and over again. You know, I mean, I think that's the most basic indication, you know.
And for me, I would say that when ancestral disrespect means that you are impoverished.
Absolutely. It can be, yeah. And that can show up in your life in many ways. You know, it can be financial, of course, but it can also be in areas of love, especially if you have bloodline issues where, you know, that was an issue, especially as we find this a lot. I know you've encountered it because we've talked about it with clients where the women in the family, you know, were never married or could never keep a husband. And that's a residue from slavery. We know that, you know. You may find that continues in your life. You know what I'm saying? As a bloodline curse. Bloodline curses are absolutely indications of disrespect or disobedience. And it may not stem from you. And that's the cold part.
Exactly. And you didn't have to go and heal the seed.
Yeah.
And the seed may not be alive. And then it's a lot more difficult to do.
Yeah.
But then again, it may be just as difficult with the person being alive. You got to take them on Y'all Fix My Life, and y'all got to get yelled at and watch your parents walk out the house. But ancestral disrespect does look like being impoverished or not having enough to sustain you in the areas of love, career, finances, family, your environment. It can look like you wanted to move. Yeah, getting your house broken into. Yeah. Ancestral disrespect means a lack of, or disrespect in African spirituality typically means we withdraw your protection. It doesn't mean that we're going to impose upon you dangers.
Yeah.
It just means that the dangers are going to now affect you.
Good luck.
Who's got your back? We had your back. And look at all of what's happening to you. And so when you turn your back on your ancestors, you are turning your back on guaranteed safety, peace of mind, protection, blessings that rain down upon you from places that you don't even, from areas that you may not even expect. So
nobody talks about you, then you want